Would I be the asshole if I sold my friend's concert ticket after she hasn't paid me back? My friend and I bought tickets to see MCR in a few months. I set aside money to buy both tickets and sat in the queue for them. It was about $270 for both, which means she owed me $135. We are both college students, and I have expenses with grad school coming up, but I can afford to go to this concert and it's not a problem. I bought those tickets back in November, and she promised to pay me back then after her next paycheck. Lo and behold, it's now February, and I have yet to receive the money. I set a few deadlines, asking for it consistently, but not trying to be annoying about it. She keeps making excuses, complaining that she has no money. But at that time, I watched her get a $300 tattoo, and she's getting another one next week. I'm tired of being out of this kind of cash, and tired of the excuses when I know she's just not prioritizing it. She, to me, can't afford this concert. I'm tempted to just sell her ticket. Would that be wrong to do? Not the asshole, although I think you should say, "Hey X, I absolutely need the money for that ticket this week, so if you're unable to get me the money by Friday, I'm going to sell it over the weekend." If she complains that it's not enough time, point out you've been waiting for months and you're sorry but you need that money. It's not a small amount. Send a text, "This is your final warning. Pay the cost of the ticket by X date or it will be sold." Then follow through if she doesn't send the money. Not the asshole, tell her she has to pay you or else you're selling the ticket. Not the asshole. She blew through every deadline to pay that you gave her. There is no reason to offer another deadline. Sell the ticket. She hasn't paid you, so it's not her ticket. Not the asshole. If you care about the friendship, the only thing to consider is how you talk to her about this. I had a similar thing happen with an old roommate. Back when 40 for a show was a lot, lol. She claimed to have paid me, left the money sticking out of your piggy bank. When I went to get it, it was gone. Someone must have stolen it. We lived in her parents' house. I took my boyfriend to the show instead, but our friendship was never the same after. You have every right to rescind her invitation. Those tickets are yours, however. It kinda depends on how much you value that friendship. Am I the asshole for telling my brother he has to buy my half of our inherited home? My brother, 51, is living in my dad's childhood home. Granted, all of his kids and friends have, but we all paid rent, bills, and property tax. My brother, on the other hand, has not paid a dime to my dad, ever. He has lived with my parents his entire life, other than 7 years he was married, and has always been a big spoiled brat. He works and gets paid very well, but my mom still managed his money. Anyway, my parents have recently passed and we both have inherited the house. I refuse to pay for his bills and property tax if he's living there. I have a mortgage and other things of my own. I told him he has to buy my half of the house and he threw a fit and said that I'm selfish. Why should he give me money for something I got for free? Am I the asshole for putting my foot down? Not the asshole. Legally, he has to get out to sell or buy you out. And for him to call you selfish is laughable. He got it for free too. And unless he's cool with you renting out your half of the house to whoever you want, and I would pick someone horrible, then he doesn't get to have the whole house and you get nothing. I don't mean this in a mean way, but does he have mental issues or something? If so, I may change my thoughts. Not the asshole, but him buying you out is not the only option. You both have inherited the house. You should consult with an attorney and a tax professional to make sure you guys are making smart decisions. But there are essentially 3 options. 1. He can buy out your interest. 2. He can agree to pay you monthly for 1/2 of the fair market value of the rent and 1/2 of the property taxes. 3. You can force the sale of the home. You may need to file a lawsuit to do this. And you each walk away with 1/2 of the equity. Why should you give me money for something I got for free? Good point. You got it for free too. I'll go ahead and find a family that needs a home and we can both hand it over to them for free. Or in other words, not the asshole. Force the sale. Not the asshole. He's trying to gaslight you. Don't give in. He needs to pay you monthly rent for your portion or he needs to buy you out. There are no other options. It isn't up for negotiation. He does one or the other or you hire a lawyer, and in turn you will have your lawyer request all legal fees get paid by him since he's refusing to cooperate. I'm not a lawyer, but I think in some of these cases you can petition a court to force a sale. But hopefully it won't come to that. Get some good numbers and sit down with him and talk this out. That is, if he's the type to be agreeable to such a meeting. Perhaps selling and splitting the money might be the best option. Not the asshole, but you're probably going to have to take steps to force a sale to get him to face facts. When you start negotiating about the value of the house, insist upon a certified appraiser, and follow up with a realtor or 2 to get a decent approximation. Am I the asshole for telling my sister I won't let her see our dying mother? I was born to a single mother who had my older sister, 32F, who is actually my half-sister, from another man that she left when my sister was about 3 years old. At Christmas dinner, our entire family gathered, so we caught up. I have a really difficult but well-paying job, one that exhausts me, but having a single mother with no stable income of any kind, reliable job etc. in the past, I've had to skip meals quite often and I absolutely fear going back to that. So I made clear that my goal is to keep the income I have right now at any cost. My sister was quick to comment that since I have a well-paying job, and possibility of a raise in the future, then I have to be the one who will entirely financially cover our mother's medical bills and needs towards the end of her life. It didn't sound like a joke. My mom is chronically ill and has always been. She has arthritis, psoriasis, is on immunosuppressants, has had cancer, as well as being overweight and recently having had to go through surgery because her stomach was in a terrible state. I supported her as much as I could, but these ridiculous amounts rack up quickly and cost. I had to borrow money, and it was hell to pay off. My sister never, ever, helped. I answered, "You've never done shit for her before and you still won't do shit for her when she needs you most. I'm tired of you acting like I or she owe you anything when you could never do anything yourself." She got extremely upset, at first telling me I was overreacting and that it was just logic, that I'd be the one paying for our mom. But it isn't the first time she's putting our mother's care in my hands and using this for money while she spends what little she has on restaurants and unnecessities. She then went off rails and started accusing my mother of never doing anything for her either, being a selfish woman and many more things that upset everyone at the table. I outright told her to shut up and to get out of my house and added that, considering I will be taking care of our mother, I won't be letting her see her again, even when time comes that she's on her deathbed. She told me to go fuck myself, that I was being unreasonable, etc. We haven't spoken since, but my grandma says she's still pissed at me and regularly talks shit about me. Am I the asshole? Edit. Thank you to everyone for all the insight received. It's clear to me by your communications that I have too much unresolved resentment towards my sister and need to let it go. For info that's been asked, my mother lives with me full time. We don't have much access to aid as we live in a remote area, but I'll look for what I can find. My mom wasn't neglectful of us. I know not many may agree or understand this, but I know my sister, and she's always been eccentric. When things don't go her way, she disowns us before calling us a week later again for money. It's tiring. And as I've said in a comment, my mom is still making up her mind about whether she wants to see my sister or not. Until then, I said I won't welcome her in my house. She can see her if she wants, but until my sister is ready to talk things out with me, I don't want her presence in my home. Again, thank you. What does your mom want? If she wants to see your sister, then you are the asshole for keeping them apart. Everyone sucks here and y'all need therapy. She then went off rails and started accusing my mother of never doing anything for her either, being a selfish woman and many more things that upset everyone at the table. It sounds like you had a below-average mother. Take care of her or don't. That doesn't obligate your sister to do anything at all, and you also don't get to dictate who sees her on her deathbed. Edit. I'm say everyone sucks here not because I think your sister owes money, but simply because you don't either. You are the asshole. I can imagine you are frustrated to bear all the financial burden, but it is in no way shape or form your right to choose whether your mother gets to see your daughter when she is dying or whether she has a relationship with her or not. You can only decide if you want a relationship with her. Everyone sucks here. Just because you are willing to pay for your mother doesn't mean your sister can or has to, and you don't get to decide if she sees your mother. Only your mother gets to decide that. But your sister doesn't get to tell you that you have to take care of your mother financially either. Is there government assistance where you live? You are the asshole. If you choose to take on your mother as a dependent, that is your decision. It does not obligate your sister. How old is your mother? Why is she unable to take care of herself financially? If you didn't exist, what would become of your mother? In other words, what government or charity systems are available to her? Obviously your sister is horrible. She is not contributing and that's disgusting. But keep in mind that keeping her away from your mom may be a punishment to your mom. If you condition your mom's care on her having no contact with your sister, then you'd be controlling your mom in a very unfair way. Am I the asshole? No children at our wedding causing major family fallout. Am I the asshole? We set a no children rule for our wedding. We're having a small wedding, 100 close friends and family. It's black tie, there will be an open bar, a big band etc. We've been clear on this rule from the beginning of our wedding planning. We communicated this a year prior to our wedding when we sent out the save the dates. For context, we're in our mid-20s and none of our close friends are married or even thinking about children. Our family friends are all 60 plus too, so their children are grown up. Since then we've had to flex our rule to include our niece, 4, and nephew, 2, as a flower girl and page boy, but they will be accompanied by their nanny who will take them home afterwards. Before sending out the official invites, we thought it would be courteous to let other close family members know that we are sticking to our no children rule. However, this has caused major backlash. A cousin, 45, claims that they see the groom as a brother and is sending nasty, long messages about how she's so upset, isn't sleeping, can't believe we don't see her child. 3. In the same way we see our niece and nephew, refusing to attend our wedding, trying to say, oh I'll bring her to the ceremony only and then leave. But we've held our stance on no means no. On top of this, the aunt, 70, has been sending long messages about how the entire side of that family is upset. The child in question isn't just another child but should be considered part of our immediate family, that the dead uncle would be so disappointed with our decision. Before my fiancé and I were engaged, this side of the family hated my finance as she is from a different religion. They gave her years of abuse and tried to break us up. They haven't apologized and my fiancé has moved on from the past. We didn't think a no-child rule would be so controversial, but now we are being harassed by this side of the family about the no-child rule. Am I the asshole for enforcing this rule? Additional context: this 3Y0 is never told no, destructive, breaks things at home regularly, pulled our doorbell off the door despite it being screwed in, can't sit still, hits her mom, and these issues have long preceded the wedding. The mom frequently goes out and leaves her at home with the same babysitter she's had for the entire 3 years, a family friend's daughter. Apparently she can't imagine leaving her child behind for the wedding? Not the asshole. This side of the family hated my finance as she is from a different religion. They gave her years of abuse and tried to break us up. You know they're just continuing their previous behavior under the guise of, please won't someone think of the child. Right? They haven't apologized and my fiancé has moved on from the past. Why? Did she feel she couldn't rock the boat? Why does she have to be around people that hate her, especially during the wedding? If you're going to marry her, you need to understand that makes her your immediate family. You are choosing to make her your priority. This includes protecting her from your abusive family members. It is your job to deal with them, even if it means cutting them out of your life. Not the asshole. People always think their child is God's gift to earth. You were clear from the jump, it will be inappropriate for kids to be there. If you really wanted to keep the peace, you could offer to pay the nanny, but even that feels like a stretch. You're doing nothing wrong with your request and it sounds like your family sucks. We understand that our black tie event may not be for you, and if you would not feel comfortable attending, that is fine. Just let us know. Not the asshole. Frankly, that auntie would be disinvited by me. Not the asshole. I know an officiant who desperately wishes everyone would hold the line the way you do. So many beautiful altar moments are ruined because the parents of a disruptive child want to stay in the room and not miss anything. My best friends got married. The first thing I asked was, is their kids? I also expressed that it's their day and I will 100% support the choice they make. I have one daughter. They chose child-free and I absolutely supported that choice. The day was not about me or my child, it's about ensuring my best friends had the day they dreamed of. Anyone who carries on is an entitled prat who doesn't even deserve an invite. Those who love and support you love and support your boundaries. Not the asshole. Stop responding to the messages. They heard your answer.